brother! Guys, I am super excited today because as you may know, especially if you listen to our podcast, Popcorn Culture, Ben and I are terrible at music.
And Nirvana and...
Oh, I learned a lot about Kurt Cobain this morning.
Yes.
Did you know he's dead?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. It's embarrassing. But what this means is that we here at SuperCarlinBrothers have a huge blind spot when it comes to everything that is happening inside of films whenever music is involved. I mean, we can dissect the plot forward and backwards, but ask us to grade a film's score and we'll come back with like a, like an H minor? I think that's a funny punchline because I don't think H is a musical note, but I can't be too sure because, again, I do not know about music. I mean, I played the trumpet in 9th grade, so there is that. Concert B flat scale. My fingers remember. But what we are not too ignorant to be aware of is the fact that the music is telling a story of its own. Everything you're hearing is often very intentional. Especially when Mr. Lin-Manuel Miranda is involved, which is very much the case for the original Moana film. So today we sat down with an expert to help shed light on not just how the music is being used in Moana to set the emotional tone, that much you're probably aware of in general for all of music and movies. That's the technical way of saying the music makes you feel all your feels. But specifically, we're gonna get into the secret tricks being employed on a music theory level that your brain and dare I say heart are picking up on even if your ears are none the wiser. This conversation seriously blew my mind, and I doubt I'll ever watch movies the same way again. It is honestly all so cool to see just how the music itself, not just the lyrics, is telling the story, contributing to the plot in unseen ways. So without any further ado, let's just dive on in and see how far we'll go. Hey, brother!
Oh my goodness, I've been doing music stuff since I was 2 years old. So I've been doing this a long time.
That's today's special guest, Brett Boles, and he's not kidding. He's been living and breathing music his entire life. In fact, we even got a picture of him as a 2-year-old. You're welcome, Brett.
I started writing music as a songwriter in middle school and high school. I have my degree in music composition from Ithaca College, and then I still am a member of the BMI Musical Theater Workshop in New York, which is where Alan Menken got his start.
By the way, if you don't know who Alan Menken is, he's basically responsible for a huge majority of the music in the Disney Renaissance, helping write scores for The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Pocahontas, Hunchback, Hercules, and a host of others. So Brett is in very good company, and his credentials don't stop there.
I have half of a master's degree from Berkeley, which I stopped to start my own business, teaching songwriting to folks. I was a public school teacher, high school choir teacher for 5 years.
But you might not even need us to introduce you to him. You may just know him from social media, where he's been amassing a following and blowing people's minds with music theory for quite a while now. And not just any people. He's even caught the attention of one Lin-Manuel Miranda, who retweeted one of Brett's Encanto videos saying,
Yeah, and said, "Quit giving away my secrets, Brett." That was...
Which is super relevant for today's video because, as we said earlier, Lin not only wrote the music for Encanto, but also Moana. But y'all, we need to take a brief pause right there to let you know about today's sponsor, Aura Frames. It's the holiday season, and I don't know about y'all, but sometimes there's a weird paradox where the people I love the most are often also the hardest to shop for, Ben. It's like I'm too close to the problem. However, I have locked and loaded the perfect answer to the problem for you, the Aura Digital Picture Frame. Because y'all, at this point, our whole family has one of these, and they look incredible, and the functionality is amazing. I don't know how to describe it, but the photos genuinely look like real prints. Unless you happen to catch a transition, you'd have no idea that it's digital. But with free, unlimited storage and an easy to navigate app, you can have fresh family photos scrolling their way through all day, every day. And we love it because our family takes a lot of trips and vacations together, and everyone's capturing their own memories on their own phones, but we can all upload them to the frame, meaning you can catch the trip through everyone's unique perspective. And for a limited time, you can visit auraframes.com and get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver mat frames by using promo code SCB at checkout. That's AURAFrames.com, promo code SCB. This exclusive Black Friday Cyber Monday deal is their best of the year, so don't miss out. Terms and conditions apply. Link in the description down below. And it was actually one of Brett's posts about Moana that led us to him, specifically about How Far I'll Go and the ingenious ways in which the music itself is telling the story of Moana. How Far I'll Go is what Brett calls Moana's I Want song.
Every Disney musical, every musical theater show has an I want song or an I am song that sort of sets up the central character, the protagonist's journey, sets their desires very clearly. So as an audience, we know what we're following. We know the journey that we're on.
So think Simba wants to be king, Ariel wants to be part of your world, Belle wants more than this provincial life. And as I'm sure you recall, what Moana wants more than anything is to leave the island, to be on the water, to explore, to sail, to voyage. And yet she is conflicted. She knows she has certain responsibilities as the daughter of the chief to help lead her people. She wants to do the right thing, but knows deep inside that she is in the wrong place. And that exact feeling is what Brett was able to zero in on the musical side of things.
It's very important in songwriting that our music and our lyrics tell the same story together, work together to tell the same story. And we call that prosody, Prosody, big word.
Prosody, a word that blew my mind when talking to Brett. Prosody, dude, that's a $10 word. That's my word of the day. I needed to know more.
I'll explain it the easiest way possible to understand it. So if you have, for example, if you have a lyric that is talking about a character, looking up at the sky and maybe like wishing on a star or something, you're going to want your melody to be ascending so that, you know, the music and the lyric are both taking our gaze upward. And it's that kind of thing. If you're writing a character, writing a song about a character who's very anxious about something, you know, you're maybe the music is going to do something where it's like maybe staccato or a little bit offbeat or something so that it helps give you that sense of uncertainty or imbalance. So all of these things are essential in the songwriting process because it takes the audience on that journey with you. So as songwriters, we are guides for the listener's ears. So it is our job to make sure that our words and our music are both guiding the listener on that same path.
Think about it like this. It's as if your feelings and emotions have an intrinsic sound to them, and songwriters are able to literally transcribe those sounds, as if music is literally just emotions given sound. And as I'm hearing myself saying it, it like sounds super obvious. Like I'm sure half of you watching are like, yeah, duh. Actually, if you've ever read Name of the Wind, this is exactly what naming is. Understanding something so thoroughly that you can speak its true name. Which consequently is why Kvothe is such a good namer, because he's like really good at music. Also, not for nothing, but Lynn is the one who wants to produce the Name of the Wind TV series. I'm not sure if that's ever going to happen, but he's like super interested in it, and I think this is probably part of the reason why. But don't get me started about Name of the Wind, or we'll be here all day. Moana, How Far I'll Go. Brett, how is prosody being used in the song?
The biggest thing with this song, and this is what the video that I made was really about, is that the song is largely about one single note. And the way that this works is, and I'll explain this as simply as I can. So, oh wait, let me share my sound so you can hear the.
Okay, so while Brett fixes the sound, let me just say that what I loved about talking to Brett was watching how his mood would change when something non-musical would come up. Like if he had a computer issue, he'd suddenly become like anxious and annoyed or even reserved. But the moment he started talking about songs.
Okay. So here's the deal. This song, it's really about one note, and here's what I mean by that. So the song is written. So in songs we have what are called keys, right? So usually a song will be written in a certain key. In this particular key, we're in the key of E major.
Oh, what does that?
You don't need to worry about what that means. What you do need to know is that there is a particular note that is used in this song that does not naturally occur in this key that we're in. All right. And so basically what that means is anytime we hear that note, it's going to feel kind of like it's out of place. It's going to feel like it's for lack of a better word, wrong, because it doesn't naturally occur in this key that we are in.
Just for what it's worth, though, this is E major, and what Brett's saying is that Moana is going to keep hitting a note that is not in this key, which the rest of the song is in.
So as a songwriter, these kinds of unstable notes are really useful in terms of telling a story, because we can have a character who feels out of place, a character who wants something they're not supposed to have, maybe something that's forbidden to them, and we can symbolize that by using a note that's outside of the key signature that we're in. So that's what's happening in this song.
On land, Moana is a fish out of water, or maybe a turtle, born on land but really meant for the sea. Do you think that's why the creature she helped save is like a little turtle? Because if you didn't know, turtles also travel the ocean, but can always find their way home. Aww.
Dude.
Okay, but enough about turtles. Brett!
Moana is singing the beginning of this thing, which is, I've been staring at the edge of the water long as I can remember, never really knowing why. She's in the world of this island. She's looking out beyond at the ocean and talking about how she's staring out there. She wants to go out there. But she can't seem to get there. First time we hear this note that's outside the key is when she sings, every path I make, every road leads back to the place I know where I cannot go, where I long to be. And it's on the note when she sings the word be, we get that wrong note. To the place I know where I cannot go, where I long to be. There's this weird note that doesn't quite fit inside the key signature, which is telling us something very important. It's telling us this is where she wants to go, but it's forbidden to her. She's not supposed to be there. All right, according to the laws of this island.
No one goes beyond the reef.
But it doesn't stop there. The pattern will repeat again on a new word.
We go back to our regular key, to the see the line where the sky meets the sea, it calls me. Right, and then we're back to the back to that E major sound that where we were before. And then the next time we get that note, I'll be satisfied if I play along, but the voice inside sings a different song. What is wrong with me? And on the word wrong, we get that wrong note again.
Do you see how clever this is? The word wrong is literally the wrong note because it also represents how Moana feels wrong on the island.
You can sort of feel that imbalance and that uncertainty and that sense of like, I don't really belong here, but I want to be here. And that's what we do as songwriters. We take one note and we try to tell a story using that note. And that's exactly what's happening here.
However, by the end of the song, Moana has resolved to try and venture beyond the reef. And as her motivation aligns with her goals.
So we're in the key of in the key of E major to start. We modulate, we change the key to the key of F major. Now in the key of F major, that same C, that note that was wrong before, is now existing in the key of F major. So now that note sort of belongs in that key. So you'll hear this key shift when she sings, what's beyond that line? Will I cross that line? The line where the sky meets the sea. That all of a sudden the music has a little lift there. We change keys, we move up a half step, and then that C now, line where the sky meets the sea, it calls me. Now it doesn't feel like a wrong note anymore because now it fits within that key. But then to do even one better than that, at the very, very, very end of the song, we change keys again as she's holding this seed, what was a wrong note before, which then fit now into this new key that we've crossed over into. Now we change keys again as she's holding this quote unquote wrong note, and now we modulate to the key of C major, where not only does that note fit, but that note is actually tonic. It's home. It's do of that new key that we're in.
The do, in case you're wondering, is the start of the key, like the first note, like do, re, mi, I can't sing. Is it just me, or like in The Sound of Music when she says la, a note to follow so? Do you feel like maybe she got a little lazy at that part? Come on. So at the end of the song, the now properly aligned C is actually the start of the key, and Moana is also at the start of her journey. And how extra appropriate as well that what she longs for, what she's been looking for this whole time is the sea. Although, to be fair, the pun may just be a happy accident.
Yeah, I don't know how intentional that was, but I hope it was.
But while the pun might not be intentional, the rest is.
Especially the way that note lands on so many of these words and phrases where it's, I mean, it's just, there's very little question in my mind that was completely intentional on his part. And he's known for doing things like that. I mean, if you look at the score of Hamilton, there's stuff everywhere that's like thought out to the extreme, you know? But here's the thing though, even if it isn't, the effect is still the same.
But if you're still not sold yet, check this out. Later in the movie, Moana has a reprise of How Far I'll Go right here. And during this rendition of the song, Moana is now singing in a brand new key again.
She does sing a C at the end of that one, but it goes, she actually goes a whole step above that and lands on a D, which is a whole step above the C. I am Moana.
And this is also very intentional and in line with the plot. Like, the entire movie, Moana has thought she was on one specific journey to get Maui to Te Fiti.
You will board my boat, sail across the sea, and put it back!
But in this moment, she is realizing that she is actually going to have to do it herself, that she is the chosen one and can succeed even without Maui.
There's a journey in that one, but it's not quite the same, and she actually ends up overshooting that sea, like going to someplace new, almost like, you know, she's like making a new realization, you know, that she's going a step beyond even where she was before, which is what she's doing at the end of the thing there.
Her calling is even higher than what she thought, and as a result, the music is higher as well. Her mission is even greater than she was aiming for, and the music reflects this. But there you go, guys, the secret hidden story inside of How Far I'll Go, and how the music itself is telling you Moana's journey as much as the lyrics are. Huge shout out to Brett Boles for explaining all of this and sharing the story. If you want to check out the rest of his stuff, and I'd highly recommend that you do, you can find him at the Brett Boles over on Instagram. A link will be in the description down below. I would love any other music theory people out there. Do you ever recognize things like this happening in other songs? I am positive it's happening in basically every song after talking to Brett. So I would love to hear other examples of it in the towel section down below. But otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Are you psyched for Moana 2? I know I am. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you're having a great weekend. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe, all those things. But until next time, I will see you in another life, brother.